Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I really hope that it is not welcome to my channel and that you have seen a video before, because this is not the first video that I would want you guys to watch. Guys, we got so close to not DNFing something this year for book club. It was so close. But what, this month and 2 more months, because December is sequel month? Yeah, I really thought we were gonna get through the year without a DNF, but unfortunately, I am gonna start off by saying, yeah, I did DNF the Devils. I already wrote a post about it. I just didn't feel right going into this video without you guys knowing that I DNF'd it. And it is a little bit different in this case than it was the past 2 times that I DNF'd something for book club, because I got through a big chunk the last 2 times that I DNF'd something. This one, I pretty much checked out on page like 30. I did end up getting to about page 70 before I really officially quit, but my brain was checked out way before that. But I did attempt to read this multiple times, actually. Like, I really tried with this book, and I simply could not. I simply could not, because I despised every single thing about this book. That's why I also wanted to intro this video that way, because there are a lot of people who are massive fans of this. So if you are a huge fan of this and you don't want to listen to somebody rip it apart who didn't finish the book either, because that's the other thing, is I did not finish this, therefore my full review of this is not as valid probably as somebody who has read this. So I did read what happens at the end, I read what happened throughout the story, but it is definitely not the same as someone who actually read this. So I completely understand if you do not want to watch a review from somebody who did not finish this book, but I do have some things to say because it was our book club pick. And I do have a couple of little vlog clips that I wanted to play as well that I had recorded for you guys. So anyway, this is a very unorthodox book club this month. This is normally not what happens. Normally I just intro the book and say, hey, we're reading The Devils. I'm really excited about it. And I hope it's a 5-star and we're gonna have such a fun time. And at this point, we're gonna move into spoilers. But that is not the case with this video. I didn't like this. It is going to be a DNF. Most of this video is going to be it's going to be a short video, but it's mostly going to be a small discussion at the end about what I did not like about this, which I pretty much said during the little vlog clips, but we're going to reiterate it and talk about it a little more coherently. But I'm not going to go into excessive detail about this because I did not finish this book, but I just wanted to give you guys a head up. So this is still going to be spoilers. It is mostly going to be talking about the first 70 pages and my struggles with it, and we will talk a little bit about the ending. But anyway, without further ado, we are going to move into the little vlog clips, and then we're going to talk about it at the end, what did not work for me in this. Remember, it is full spoilers. I am 30 pages into The Devils, and I already don't like it. Oh, this was such a risky pick for a book club. I don't know if I'm going to be finishing this book. I really don't know. I'm going to try. I just got the audiobook for it, which I think is going to help a lot to get through this book, but I don't like the weird boy humor. It's just boy humor. It's tongue-in-cheek constantly, and I'm just not vibing with it immediately. I'm hoping everyone else is enjoying it. But yeah, I am definitely struggling with it immediately, but I am going to switch to the audiobook and see if that helps, because not having the best time. I don't really have anything to say about it either. I think, what are we? We're following 2 separate main characters, or 2 separate storylines right now, which is Brother Diaz, who is in the church, and it's definitely picking at the church, which I really like. I do like that aspect of it, where it's talking about kind of the more absurd things within religion, especially formed religion. And so I like that, but I don't like the comedy that's in it so far. I'm not a big fan of that. But I think it could get better depending on where the story goes. And then the other storyline is Alex, who was randomly just found, and basically was kind of like Aladdin. She's a thief that was stealing stuff and was getting into trouble. And she has just been pronounced as some long lost princess. So I don't know, all this is 30 pages. Everything that says 30 pages. So we're going to continue reading it. I just don't have the highest hopes. I'm going to try and just vibe with it and hope that it gets better. It is bright and early the next morning after I talked to you about how much I'm not enjoying this book. And surprise, I'm still not enjoying this book. And I haven't really made it much farther because I went back and reread it. I reread what I already read because I had only read 30 pages. There was only 30 pages and I was totally lost. So I went back and re-listened to it, kind of got reoriented. And then I think I read a couple more chapters. So I'm at page 55 about. I think I'm on the chapter that says oh, hold on to something. So they just told, like, the Devils their new job. So I I just don't like it. Every single chapter starts and I'm so confused. Like I have to sit there for a second, reorient myself, because it's not like a linear timeline. It's jumping from place to place every single chapter. And I'm just like, I hate how this is written. I hate it. So like we just had I'm not gonna remember any of these names. We just had the vampire who's one of the devils, his point of view, where Her Holiness, who was a kid, I did find that absolutely hilarious. I love that, came down and gave them their assignment of being underneath Brother Diaz. So we're combining all of the things that we've talked about. We're like meeting, everyone's meeting now. So they're told, the devils have been told that they have to follow Brother Diaz. They have been bound to those like virtues or whatever that they were read. And then Brother Diaz and the devils are going to bring Alex to the throne where she is the long lost princess. So I got it. I got what's happening, but it took me 2 times to read the book. And I'm not doing that for the whole book. If I get 100 pages in and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, I'm not going back and rereading it again. I'm not doing that. So I am going to continue reading it because there's like enough. There's like enough that I'm like, oh, this could be really good. Like there's flashes of genius in this book. Like again, making Her Holiness a child who like doesn't understand things. I thought that was so funny. So there's moments. So I'm incredibly frustrated. I'm so frustrated. And I'm awake this early because it is October 1st and the Aardvark books are dropping. So I woke up early, but the whole site has crashed. And I'm guessing it's because Mate and Bride got new editions, ombre covers. I'm only getting Mate because I already have Aardvark's Bride, like the earlier edition. And to me, the ombre is not enough to buy a whole new book. And then I'm getting the short story collection, even though I don't like short story collections, but I think this one could be really, really good. So that's why I'm up so early, but I'm listening to this book while I was waiting because the app crashed, so you can't get in. It's been like half an hour. So I'm just like, well, I might as well try reading more of this, but I'm going to try to get to 100 pages. If I am still despising the book, if I have no interest in the book, I will DNF it. I really don't want to because this is a book club video. But I will DNF it, and then I will go read a synopsis breakdown, and I will talk about it a little bit. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Either the next clip is me DNFing it, or the next clip is me telling you I'm continuing the book. I lied. I'm back to complain some more. It's been 3 seconds, but the chapter I'm on just switched perspectives in the middle of the chapter. That was like the one complaint I didn't have, where it was like, okay, at least it's giving me a second to just like deal with one character per chapter, but that was bullshit and they've just changed characters in the middle of a chapter and I hate this. Because it was just Alex talking, riding along and telling us where people kind of were in the line, and now it's switched to Balthazar. Is that who I said his name was? Just switched to Balthazar now, the vampire bro, and I'm just like, another thing to add to the list of complaints. I'm DNFing it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I am DNFing it. It was my final straw when they were in the middle of a fight and he reanimates corpse, and the first thing he says is the reanimated corpse gets up, the big guy gets up and farts. And I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And the amount of like vomit jokes and diarrhea jokes because of the binding on Bartholomew. No, that's not right. Balthazar. On Balthazar, it's just like, this is gonna be the whole book. This is gonna be the whole book based on what I've read so far. I am DNFing at about 80 pages. I thought I was at page 70. I was only at page like 65 last time I talked to you. It's only been about an hour. Yeah, no, I am DNFing it. I really absolutely despise this book, and I am so sorry for subjecting you guys to this. I'm gonna write a post in a few minutes just in case no one, just in case people haven't started this or they think they want to start it. I'm definitely gonna write a post about DNFing it because it's so bad. I am gonna go read a synopsis of the book if I can find one, and so I can talk about the book in general and give a more coherent critique. So, unfortunately, this is our first DNF of the year, though. I think last year, did I DNF 2? Or the year before might have been 2. But I was trying not to DNF any this year, but it happens. It happens, and I have to protect my own mental health. I don't have the time to read a book I absolutely despise, and I despise this book. Like, if I finish this book, it would potentially be worst of the year. And like, knowing that at 70 pages, I cannot put myself through reading the rest of this one. But it is going to have an honorable mention in worst of the year. I'm going to put an honorable mention section for the DNFs. This is going to be on it. So I DNF'd it. I'm going to go read a synopsis and we'll discuss it as a whole. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. And yes, I DNF'd it. I feel like I just told you that because the intro clip I filmed right before doing this. So I did DNF The Devils at, I think, about 74 pages, right in there. I legitimately didn't like anything that this book did. This would have been a 1 star if I finished it. There is no way it would have gotten anything else other than a 1 star. So also knowing that it was a 1 star, I did not feel was fair continuing it because it's like, okay, this book just clearly was not for me. Nothing about this book was for me because I don't think it's necessarily like a bad book. It just 1000% is not for me as a reader. So let's break down the things that did not work for me. First of all, I did not like how the storytelling was done. It was very confusing, and it's why I ended up having to reread the first about 40 pages twice. I literally reread the first 40 pages twice, and then I continued reading, and I still was just like, I get what's happening, but I don't like how it's written, and it's gonna confuse me throughout the whole book. So one of the things that I struggled with the most were the jumping around in the chapters. So, or I guess from chapter to chapter. So we started off with Brother Diaz. He tells his little chapter of what's going on. Already there's some humor in there I was not a fan of, which is surprising because I generally like a humorous book, so I was surprised about that. We then jump to Alex, our second character, who is in the second chapter, and she's the long-lost princess, and then after her chapter, we jump back to Brother Diaz. I was expecting that. Unfortunately, when we jump back to Brother Diaz, he was in a completely different location than he was where we left off with him, and I was like, oh, okay. He must have got off the carriage, they must have got through the traffic, and he must have arrived at the cathedral. Okay, I got it. I moved him there. Cool. Then after his chapter, he was assigned what he's going to be doing. Then we move back to Alex's chapter. And in Alex's chapter, she's in a totally different location as well. And I was like, okay, last I saw, she was in a alleyway and they were about to have this big fight, but I guess we're skipping the big fight, and now we're in some like remote location and she's being told some like backstory about her supposed uncle and all that stuff. Okay, so I wonder how that happened. Okay, but this is where we are now. Okay, then we jump back to Brother Diaz and he is in some completely other location, and we're not told how these characters are getting from point A to point B. Even like a little sentence of, we walked from the minister's office down to my office 3 floors down. Something like that, where it's able to orient you after being in a totally different character mindset, but it's just jumping you in without telling you like the little, like, it's the boring bits. He got rid of the boring bits, like the movement stuff and the feeling stuff and like where you are in location of what just happened. And he got rid of all that. He got rid of all that. And I was really struggling to keep up, especially when it jumped to where Brother Diaz was, because it kind of told you where he was. Like, it's his new rectory, but like, exactly where was that? Like, I read it twice and I still don't know exactly where they went. Like, I'm still very confused where exactly we were. And then we went down to meet like his little new cadre of people that are going to be following him, but we got no information really about these people. And then it switched to their perspective. It switched to the vampire's perspective, and I was like, what is happening? I'm very confused why this is jumping around so much. So I can see other people being fine with it and being able to make the connections in their brain, but I like a little bit more connections between the two places. I don't care if it's little boring sentences of, and they moved down to this location and they moved over here. It's been a week since this and now we're here. I need that, because then after we talk to the vampire, we just immediately jump to everyone together and they are riding down a road, and Alex and the vampire and Brother Diaz are all together now, and it's like, okay, but like, are we gonna talk about, like, why didn't we show them meeting and getting ready on the horses and talking about the journey and like the plan and like the location that we're going, and why didn't we talk about any of that? I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I just felt like so very much was missing from this story. So that was my like biggest confusion factor. That was, I think I could have gotten over that though if not for like the other things. So I think I could have dealt with that, because the actual writing, I didn't like the writing either. Okay, let's let's not. It's like, do you know when like an event happens and in the event you're like really angry, and then after the event happens you look back on it and you're like, oh, it probably wasn't that bad. No, I need to stop doing that, because it was that bad. It was that bad. I also did not like the writing. The writing felt very stilted. There were like weird sentences for me, like sentence structures were really strange, and it just like took my brain out of reading it. It took me like 5 hours to read 40 pages of this book. That's how poorly it was going. There was no moment while reading this book that I ever felt like I was in a fantasy world. I always felt like I was physically reading a book, and it was highly painful. So anyway, the next thing that I really didn't like was the humor. The humor really took me out, because honestly, the two biggest things were the writing and the formatting of the book, which I basically am putting together, and the humor of it. The humor was so stupid, and I love stupid humor, and even I thought this was stupid. So the once you start doing poop and fart jokes, I'm out. I am done. I am done. I don't want to do it anymore. I am just not a fan. So there was like a whole chapter. So basically, I don't know if I talked about it in a previous thing, because I've talked to like 6 different people about this book and how much I didn't like it by now. I don't know if I talked to the camera about this, but there is a binding spell that was put on the devils, and they get violently ill. They think about going against the princess and Brother Diaz, etc. If they think about doing anything bad. And so there's like a whole section of the vampire puking and barfing and farting and having diarrhea and all this stuff, and I'm just like, and it's like done in like kind of a joking manner, and I'm like, oh no, please don't be this type of book. And it definitely was this type of book, because I'm trying to find where this chapter was. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it, but our vampire bro is oh yeah, sorry. It also started switching between perspectives within a chapter as well, and I don't vibe with that whatsoever. I do not like that at all. So on top of everything else, that was like one of the final straws. So the vampire has necromancer abilities, which I think is pretty cool. Like, there's things about this book that could have been really cool if it was just written by somebody else, apparently. It's even like this line: if someone kills that turd of a princess, it will be me. So many turd jokes, so many poop jokes. There's like a goat giant in here. It's super strange. I'm sad I'm not gonna be able to find this, but the joke was Balthazar raises like a body from the dead, and it literally farts. I can't do that. Like, I can't. The stupidity of that is just like, oh my God. And then I'm not gonna lie. I'm so sorry if you're a boy, because I'm about to be mean to boys. But it felt like boy humor, and I think I said that already, but it felt like boy humor. It felt like really dumb teenage boy humor, where it's like, oh, you farted, oh, no, it smells. Like, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like I was reading. And I'm like, this is so stupid. So like this: I will discover its secrets and I will break it. He gave vent to an unsightly burp and had to swallow some sick. It was like constant. It's just constant. Okay, here it is. Well, since you asked, Balthazar began subtly to move his fingers, threading through the familiar incantations in his mind, feeling out the joints, pinching at the sinews, stroking the fluids into motion. That is, like, pretty cool. Like, that section's pretty cool. It's corpses. The larger of the 2 guardsmen lurched up with a gurgle and a loud fart. I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's why I had to DNF it. I actively, and it's not just one. It wasn't just one fart joke. It wasn't just one poop joke. It's just, it was throughout the whole freaking beginning of the book. So I just assume it's probably throughout this. Then I did read the ending. I did read the ending, like a little synopsis breakdown kind of thing, and it kind of just went the direction that I thought it would, where it's a situation of like an Anastasia thing where she wasn't like the real princess. She was just kind of put there as like a puppet for these other people to use and potentially take over this throne. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, I feel like that's not something that's supposed to be like a twist, really. And then I think some of the characters die, but I expected that. Like, this is one of those books that I expect a bunch of characters to die. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here before it gets worse because it just keeps going downhill. But yeah, I DNF this. I really want to know what you guys thought about this book. If you enjoyed it, please let me know if you enjoyed it. I will be so grateful to know that you enjoyed it. And again, this is just my take on it. This is just my take on it because it did not match my humor. So yeah, please let me know if you like this. I really hope there's some people out here that really enjoy this, that were part of the book club, and that it wasn't just a hate fest in this book club, because I know you guys, and now I'm very concerned. I am very concerned you guys read this and were like, oh, this was not it for me. That's what I'm worried about. I'm really, really worried about that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this not great video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Hopefully next month is better. We have the Ghost Writer by Julie Clark next month. I do have the audiobook of that one. I think it'll be a fun short book club pick. It's not going to be like probably anything, oh my god, this is like amazing, you have to spend a lot of time on this. I feel like it's just gonna be like a really nice little October thrillery read. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to start that. The book club video, it might be soon because it's such a short book. It might just come out when I need a block of space to get other stuff done. So that may come out way earlier than I normally do book club picks, but I will let you guys know. Like, I'll give you guys a heads up in like the post section. Definitely keep an eye out on that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this book more than I did. Definitely let me know down below what you liked, what you didn't like about this book. Definitely subscribe so you miss any future content. Leave a skull emoji for the devils if you have nothing else to say, but you want to let me know that you're here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.